All right, great. So we have a nice full board today, which is great news. This is the Monday, October 21st, 2024 Historic Preservation Board regular meeting. We have 3 items on the agenda today, and then some member minutes, meetings, meeting date review, as well as a meeting on this coming a week from today, Monday, that Alexandria and I will talk about. But do we have a motion to start the meeting?
Motion to give the meeting.
Thank you.
So move.
Member Torres?
Aye.
Member Dubrowski?
Aye.
Member Richards?
Aye.
Member Sarah?
Aye.
Chair Olson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so before we start the agenda, do we have anybody on this board need to recuse themselves for any specific reason?
I do not.
Nope. No.
Okay, great, nor do I. We'll start with 5 Sutherland Street for the garage addition and porch. Of course.
Hi again. Hi,
See you again. Of course, you too.
You're fine. Steve's not here to yell at us.
Oh, no? Okay.
No.
That's a good thing. Okay, so we're back here we kind of had, we took your feedback,
Yep.
pretty much, almost all of it. Had the architect revise the plans. And I guess, I don't know, should I start like addressing some of Alexandria was kind enough to send me the notes from the last meeting, so I can go through that if you want.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. That's nice to have. We don't have that, so
Okay.
I was just gonna start going through each by memory, but I like your
copy.
I like your bullet point better.
Those are their notes.
Okay, that's right.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's great.
So garage shutters, recommended remove them on the plans. You'll see we removed them.
Yep.
Mullions for the windows. We split the windows, fused windows, and we put mullions between them. So we did that. Metal roof we'll probably get back to, but we'd like to keep the metal roof. We feel that it's consistent with some of the other properties right on our street.
Yeah.
So it's an accent roof, it's not a main roof. So I have some pictures here I can hand out on that. And then, so the materials and the details, I did send around an Excel sheet with some links. I don't know if anyone had a chance to look at those, but I kind of put it on a separate Excel sheet so that I can put links, or I'm sorry, PDF file. So I have a copy of that too I can give you guys.
Yep.
I love this.
And then,
Not materials.
And then, so materials and details, so we kind of have everything on there that was requested, the doors, the light fixtures, roofing, siding. We've changed, as you saw in the plans, probably from the smart side board to the hardy board. We can talk about the porch.
Wait, will you just recall what the smart side board was?
It's like
I saw that it says hardy board, but I was wondering what was there.
There's an LP smart siding, it's like an engineered wood board.
Oh, okay,
Like,
right.
It's kind of lap siding, it's just a different form, but it's engineered wood,
Okay.
not cedar wood or anything
Right.
pure. But we decided to just go with hardy board. So moving on to the porch columns. I'm sorry, we'll go, so materials. We met with the owner on State Street, her garage there. We toured it with Shannon Hookway and toured the garage. That's kind of why we decided to go kind of like with some of the changes there. And on the columns on the porch, we had the architect reduce them to 10 by 10s. That was kind of a request from, to be a little bit more historical. Added some door handles, doors, flooring, roofing. And we'd like to talk about the materials for the porch, floor, and the ceiling. And then, but in terms of the shed, I didn't address that on the materials that I did send out, but I do have pictures here. I apologize, I forgot that, but I did take some pictures. I have some pictures here that I can give you guys, but inside it's stamped July 95. So the wood is like plywood from 1995, so it doesn't have I'm assuming that's
Oh, you're talking about the
shed.
shed, yeah.
The ones we're gonna kind of,
Demolition
yeah.
of the shed.
So it does have a stamp that says July 1995 on it,
Okay.
so it's not anything to swear for. Okay, so I think that's most of the notes. Thank you, Alexandria, for sending those over. So we kind of addressed that. So I guess we could go into some of the things, but first I'll stop. Are there any questions on the plans that you saw?
I don't have any questions, I have some comments, but if you're asking for questions, I have none.
Or whatever, if you'd like me to keep going, or if you'd like to say.
Any questions?
No questions specific.
I don't want to interrupt you.
That's a good stopping point.
So if we've gone through the note review, do we want to start with specifically the garage addition or the porch? Virginia, what would you rather start with?
I have more comments about the garage than the
Okay.
porch.
Okay, so let's start with specifically the garage.
Okay. I'm looking at, on sheet A1, which is the garage plan view and elevations. I'm sorry.
If anyone needs to, I have brought a big one, if anyone wants to see it. My eyes are gone, so.
The other
Yeah.
A1. This architect did not.
Yeah, A1 on the, for the garage.
Right, well,
Yeah.
the title block is a stock item that comes in on the drawing sheet that you open up on your computer, and unless you go back and change it, it's easy to have all the sheets the same number. Okay, rear elevation, I'm looking at the eave. And the eave on the house is just a straightforward eave. The garage has a box eave that's coming down and returning to the house. That's quite a modern detail and one that I drew hundreds of times when I was drawing new houses. But in this instance, I think that the eave for the garage should match the eave for the house.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
All right. I was not aware of that. Okay.
Well, as I said, it's stays, and with your architect is,
Well,
What's your name?
it's pretty good.
the way the eave returns to the house.
And it's enclosed as opposed to just
Yes.
stacking.
In my opinion, it should match the house.
Okay.
I think the crossbuck, the X pattern on the garage doors is more farm type representation. I don't have any problem with the doors. I object to the sawbucks, the crossbucks on them. And on the left side
What would you
elevation,
recommend instead?
I'm sorry,
What would you recommend instead?
just plain, no crossbuck on them.
So identical doors, no crossbuck.
Yes,
Okay,
yes, I've no,
I'm just trying to clarify what
I feel like we
you're,
discussed the farmhouse look last time we were here.
yeah.
well,
These are just Virginia's opinions at this point, just going through.
you live in town. This is not, it's not a farm, it's not a farm barn, it's not a farm garage, you live in town. And I may have voiced that opinion earlier, first meeting, but I can't tell you for sure. On the left side elevation, the first floor or garage floor window is smaller in both height and width than the paired windows immediately above. And traditionally, typically, first floor windows are larger than second floor windows. So
Are you saying on garages or in houses?
either.
Okay. 'Cause
Well, garages typically are not 2 stories either. Carriage barn might be,
Okay.
This is a garage on a, I'm sorry, I don't remember without looking back at the sheet, the date of construction for your house, but it's
1955.
okay, yeah, I was going to say 1950s. And that is typical on the house as well.
Okay.
And
Just on that, we did make it smaller because it's a garage. We didn't want people looking into the garage and seeing what's in there, so we kind of made it smaller, raised it up a little bit so that people can't like get visibility of what's inside. So that was the rationale behind that. And we did drive around and we looked around. There's a whole assortment of windows through the village. We did a tour, we did a walking tour, we did driving tours.
Of course. I'm speaking to
Yeah,
preservation issues
okay.
in the design.
And I'm just telling you how we
Yes.
felt comfortable doing that, and I'm not disputing that at all.
So is this on this side of the left side elevation faces your garden, right? Your
Yeah,
backyard.
yes.
It wouldn't be facing the street or the front.
No.
No.
Just one thing to think about, because we recently had an architect look at doing a carriage barn in our house. And one of the suggestions that they had, which was kind of cool, was a series of small square windows, which is very traditional for barns, for the lower floor, because they're just, they have horse stalls in there, and so they have a little, like 3 small windows that aren't even, like, you can't open them or anything, they're just,
Yeah, it's visibility.
just something that might look a little bit more historical, I don't know.
Okay.
And I have one more window comment. On the front elevation and the rear elevation, the bonus room windows are 6/1. Do you know what I mean by 6/1?
Yeah.
The upper sash has 6 panes, the lower sash has a single pane. All the other windows on the garage, are these casements? Awning in the bonus room? Okay.
We did that to match the house.
Well, so, I'm sorry, I'm confused. You said, what did you say? I'm sorry,
6/1. 6 panes in the upper sash, 1 pane in the lower sash.
Yeah, and the 6/1 does
Yeah.
match the front of the house, which is nice. It's just a mismatch on the side.
Okay.
But not every window has to be identical. It matches
Right,
the
and when-
windows, it matches the doors, it matches the garage door
And-
over 6s, so,
When-
We're trying to tie it together.
yeah.
If the other windows are awning windows, there's a specific reason for that.
Awning
So I want-
as in,
Awnings
as
are
in this
hinged
way.
at the top
Okay,
and
sorry.
open out.
Yep,
Casements are
these side
hinged at the
windows
side.
are casement. Is that correct?
They're all.
No,
They're awnings?
Awnings.
Okay, cool.
They're long for awnings.
Pardon me?
They're long for awnings, they're
Long.
tall for awnings.
Okay,
Just a comment,
Yeah.
not an objection, just a comment.
okay.
That's all I have about the barn. I mean,
Barn?
the garage.
Oh, it's fine.
Uh,
I did tell you I was a condo, right?
Is the garage door one door, or is it 2 separate doors, or
That's one door.
it's one door that'll just open up vertically like a normal garage?
Yeah.
So it'll open up with a garage door opener, coil up.
Yes.
Any questions on the garage? All right, let's move to the.
So the other thing, though, that we mentioned, these are still metal, the little roofs on top of the
Yes.
doors are.
The accent roofs,
Yeah.
still metal. So let's talk about the metal roof, because that will lead us into the porch. So the metal roof is a preference to the owners of the property, and it's definitely a style that fits with the garage that they're building. Do you guys have any information on the material and, not necessarily paint, but material makeup of the specific metal roof that you're gonna put on? Because I looked it up, I did look it up on your spreadsheet, I did not click the PDF. I'm not sure if those worked in our PDF, in our packet. Yeah, I don't think they did, but I did not go over and check them.
I checked it, I thought.
29
I thought they.
PA snap.
Right, so 29 gauge, but
Yes.
no, I couldn't find that. When I
Maybe
did
it's
mine.
blocked by IT or something, it's possible. Sometimes links don't work if, you know.
Yeah, like a PDF link turned into our PDF that we get.
Yeah.
So,
Do you want me to open it up on the website? Do you want to look at something or?
So I think that, just to answer that, I guess, it's ATAS International, 29 gauge, snap block, standing seam, metal roof system. I believe it's 1.75 seam height, 16-inch width is what I believe
Okay.
it is to be.
okay.
Still kind of tied in with what you've seen on the street, and I'll just.
So let's look it up because that was kind of, that's exactly, it's funny you said that because I could only find the 1 and the 1.5 and then the 2-inch on their website.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure that the roof that we approve doesn't have any like detail issues that we don't have in front of us. So like another one that I found had like the detail in between the standing seams. I really just want to make sure that we have it defined on the exact metal roof that you guys are going to use.
I tried to confirm that with him today. I left him a message. He never got back to me, but we can make it whatever you guys want. I mean, that's what I think he proposed in the proposal. But we can make it.
Alexandra, will you see if you can find that one?
Yeah, the hyperlink's open in the packet on the website, so they should have opened for.
Okay.
even
Then that's
email.
something I did not go to, so my apologies.
Which exactly, you have two board members with computers if you guys maybe want to peek over with each other.
1.75 seam height, 16-inch width. It's the one we're looking for.
Same, everything's the same under the garage and porch.
Mhm.
Yeah, that link doesn't work for me.
Zoom in just a little more.
It's like it's not a link. It's
Yeah.
just blue under it.
Oh, maybe we
Did
can.
did you go to the website or you're going from the board packet?
From the packet.
Try the one on the website, yeah, because that's what I just opened up from.
Just go to.
Like, what do you
just go
mean
to
from the
village?
website?
Go to village.
Because like when I click the packet, it still
Village.
downloads the.
Okay.
Oh, you're saying like live on our website.
Sometimes when you combine them into one PDF, is that, Andrew? Sometimes, yeah, like the links might.
Yeah, the board gets a few different materials that the public doesn't
Yeah.
get in the moment, so.
I mean, you guys want to see the picture of the house on the street that has a similar roof, or should I, because I didn't send it out in time, I just.
I'd like to see.
I mean,
how
it's just,
it
this is the house up the street, obviously dwarfs our house, but
That's kind of similar, what we're kind of going for, like the classic bronze.
Are you on the Wi-Fi or anything?
Yeah, I'm waiting for mine.
I haven't looked at this could be, I'm wondering if that's actual copper.
They do have one copper roof, maybe.
On the
not
far
original
right.
part, But
It is original copper, but the ones on the left are newer, I believe,
I
bronze.
think the whole house is new.
And if you guys want to see the 1995, I don't know, I mean,
this is the shed, the 1995.
Oh, yeah.
okay, I mean,
Bye.
just so you have seen
I
it.
feel like I've seen it before.
Well, personally, I'm actually glad you brought that picture, because that was kind of like one of the things that I have like a hang up on, is that it's just, there's so much metal roof
Home.
that it's like
Calendar.
almost not becoming an accent,
Go to,
between the garage and the
or about
porch.
your calendar.
Whereas I feel like it works perfectly on the porch, but then when you add that element to a post-war home inside, and wrapping around, see, that's a lot of metal.
Yeah.
Whereas like that, it's like a tasteful little, and when you look at a lot of the other homes in the village, they are like just a dormer or a bay window, or it is truly just an accent.
Yeah.
And that's the big hang up
Cash
for me.
out on the porch.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like if it was maybe like just one or the other, like it would feel more accenty, but like with both of it, it's almost becoming like the primary material. And I was trying to calculate it and I got distracted, but it was like how much volume it is are we talking about relative to the rest of the roof? You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know what an appropriate ratio would be, but it feels like we're getting away from accent.
I understand.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm still trying to get the link here.
I can.
What's the
if you want,
question
I can
about the
literally
roof jacket that you guys are looking at?
Although I don't know.
My question is
There's a
to,
dimension.
That's very connected.
Chris, there's a dimension on the first floor plan.
Yeah, I mean, you could get all you can math it all out. When I was trying to do it earlier, I got distracted and didn't get the
Well,
number.
It's given 40 feet 8 inches. Is
Of length, and then it's
is
9
the
feet.
street facing, yes, it's 6 feet. So it's 9 feet deep on the front,
Yeah,
40 feet 8 inches side to side. Then the side part of the porch is 21 feet even and projects 6 feet out from the house.
all right, so the seam
You have
height
it
is
all along
1.5
the garage
inches.
here.
1 3/4.
right. And
So if you
to
know-
your point, it's like,
One and
it's
a half.
almost starting to create a false history of this being.
I'm not in favor in any way, shape, or form of modern metal roofs.
We can just do asphalt.
Yeah.
We'll do asphalt everywhere.
No, we're
Well, no, I mean,
working towards it.
I mean,
I think it's perfectly fine with garage personally, but I just feel like when you add it with the front porch, it becomes too much.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's in black.
we're trying to work
Black,
towards something that you both want.
asphalt.
yeah, no, that's fair, that's fair, we're on the discussion. I think, so, if I'm looking here, I think,
We'll walk just a little bit. I just want to get forward, because it's
If we're looking at the porch, at this time, my comment about the box Steve on the garage applies to the right side porch as well.
Which elevation, right side
Right side.
elevation? So it should be a hangover?
I think that the eave on the porch needs to match the eave on the house.
That hasn't changed since the original plan.
This is a more detailed discussion.
yeah, for sure. If you want to, I mean, you can click on this if you want.
I think it's just gonna ask you to, when you click on it, I'm gonna ask you to approve it or something like, I don't know what you're trying to find, I can't,
Metal roofing.
yeah.
Yeah, we have it here.
Yeah.
Oh, you already had it up, okay.
Plus, traditional standing seam rib is only about an inch high,
Okay.
not 1 3/4.
And that
And
inch and
there's a-
3/4 is inaccurate, it's 1.5.
It's 1.5, yeah.
We looked up the product description.
Okay, it's still,
That's right,
just if you're looking at a traditional
yeah.
standing seam with a malleable metal.
Yep.
Which Kynar-coated steel is not. Also, the rib is wider. On a traditional malleable metal standing seam roof, the rib is anywhere from 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they said that they would be willing to, it sounds like we would be comfortable with having the accent metal roof on the garage with asphalt on the porch as opposed to having everything metal. Would you guys be okay with that?
Sure.
That sounds like a reasonable compromise.
Yeah, no, that sounds fine.
Other than that, I
Then
have
the
no
porch
other
matches the
comments on the
house, the rest of
porch.
the house.
Honestly, the door
Yeah.
location, everything.
I think the
Very
columns
lovely.
look great,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can already see a few rocking chairs on there.
Yeah.
What's that?
Which one?
Oh, yeah.
So hypothetically speaking, then, if we,
You guys had to move some of the columns, didn't you? Yeah,
Yeah,
because
once
before they were like
it's-
splitting in front of the windows or something.
Yeah, like,
So you have to-
she has to put them a certain place
Yeah,
there.
but I remember the other drawings.
Once they got smaller, she moved them around a little bit.
Yeah, it looks nice. Looks very. Nice. Sorry.
So the eave on the barn, is that something you guys can match the house?
I didn't even, yeah, I'm sure we
Okay.
could do that, yeah. I don't know enough to know the difference, honestly.
In new construction, it's an easy way to provide the required airflow that comes up through the eave and then exits out a ridge vent on the top. So you're getting, in this climate, you want that to keep your roof cool in the winter so that you don't get ice dams. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where you lived before.
Didn't really compare the eaves.
Right.
Yeah,
Because if you see the eaves on the house, they do just,
yeah.
they don't come back that way.
More neat.
Yeah.
That box, Steve, is an easier way to install the soffit.
All right, then, I think that's really the only change that we'll be making, correct?
Yeah.
The question to the board is the
Roof
eave,
eave.
the roof eave,
Or we're talking strictly the garage.
on the garage.
And the porch.
And the right side porch.
In the eave on the right side porch. Doors, lights, pillars. You did make one comment on the materials for the floor and ceiling, and I wrote a question mark as you were doing a review. What was,
So-
is that something we need to review, or you want to bring
I
to
would think
attention?
so, because what I'm trying to do, so I have, I'd like to give you the idea, so what we'd like to do is use a material that's been approved by, I asked her for details on it, but it's been approved in 48 states to be used for historical renovation.
Okay.
What it is it's an unfinished PVC board that looks like plank, that is stainable and paintable. And I guess, like, the interesting part of this is that the wood, like, we get the traditional part of it where, you know, you want wood for wood, but the reality is that the wood that's made today is not even near what it was 100 years ago when these houses were built, like the grains, and I've got a picture here I can give you guys.
No, you're absolutely right.
You know, so it's like this product, when
Absolutely.
painted,
And all
it's
trees.
almost like you wouldn't be able to tell the difference when it's painted or stained. And I do have,
And you're talking about doing this for the decking?
for the decking and then the ceiling. And this way, you know, it's gonna last for a long time. It's,
It's actually interesting, like the trees, they used to use trees that were hundreds of years old, now they use trees that were growing up.
yeah, so here's a visual
Yes.
Yeah.
that I did bring
Trees are
here.
farm
Oh.
So this is the
Yeah.
wood.
Look at the 2x4.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Your growth rings.
Well, you know, Virginia, but this,
No,
and
I'm
then,
familiar with.
And then the second page of this is a letter from the Historical Society of Louisiana. They have used this in the French Quarter. It's proved to be used in the French Quarter to restore some of the, you know, historical buildings down there. And the fact that you can put it down and it's installed like real wood flooring, but you can paint and stain it, and, you know, it's virtually
Wait.
indistinguishable from wood.
Is this the product?
No, 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 no.
Where is the product? Do you have a
The
picture of the
product I
product?
have, yeah. So I printed one, I wasn't sure, I didn't want to overload you with stuff, but
this is also on the links on the website, but that's the flooring and this is the porch ceiling. So
it's a product that can be painted and it'll look great for a long, long time. The paint won't be peeling.
can I take this back to you guys?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And the fact that it's being approved for historical renovations, I actually went to this old house, and this is what they've done to some of the things in New England. And once it's painted and installed, it looks really good.
Has any of this ever been approved on our board before?
I don't think so. Never heard of it.
Is this a plastic product? Or is this,
PVC, but
Yeah.
it's got a,
PVC is plastic.
It's.
Polyvinyl
Well,
chloride.
it's not colored,
It's vinyl. It's like plastic.
Yeah.
Might as well call it plastic.
I wouldn't call it plastic, I don't think they would.
That's not plastic tonight.
PVC is
But
vinyl.
I
It's
understand,
plastic.
but I guess, like,
I'm just saying it's not wood.
yeah, it's not wood, but it's an engineered wood, and the way products are these days, they're really improving. And the thing is, like, do we want to have porches 10 years where the wood's rotting away, the paint's peeling, like this,
I'm
when done properly, would really
I'm
keep its form for a long
absolutely
time.
familiar with the problems with wooden porch floors.
Yeah, I figured you would be, yeah.
I mean, personally, I just don't know enough about this product to feel comfortable voting on it right now.
Right, because
Like,
we'll
I
set
wanna
a
do more
precedent on the rest
research
of the
on it.
village to use this, if we approve it.
How is this different from the other
What else have we used?
imitation wood that goes up? I mean,
Well, I think it just begs the question of if there is a different building standard that, we used to not approve a hardy board and now we do.
Right.
So like, we have to be malleable in some capacity. So I'm not saying that it should be approved, I'm just saying I don't know enough, right? Like, should we pull back and do some research on it?
I feel like there's so many people obviously doing renovations in the village that it would be great to pull together these resources so that everybody knows what you are comfortable with going forward. They've come up with these amazing products that we can use now that look and feel and are so much better.
As long as they keep the historical character, we understand when you got,
Absolutely.
what you want to do. So I've been talking to this person that sells it. I did a lot of research coming in here. She said she would come talk to you guys if you wanted her to, and just the fact that it's been approved, French Quarter especially, there's the most notable one, but there's other places that's been approved. She's like, everyone was on, I was like, can you send me something that it's approved? But like you, they don't put it on a list and say, okay, this is approved to use. They treat it on a case-by-case basis.
and that's what we
And
need
that's
to
what-
do.
Yes.
So I would not be in favor of providing a list of acceptable substitute materials.
Understandable. Every case is different.
This porch is, there's, and this is just for the record, I mean, there is no porch there now. So it is a new build.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I know I continue to have contacts with contractors who work on historic buildings, and it's nearly impossible to find wood that meets the standards required for an exterior exposed porch floor. It's basically unavailable.
Mhm.
And this is just one, I only printed one. This is if someone wants to read a hard copy, this is just a little excerpt from a little presentation that she sent me, the historical pages from it. Could provide some more information for you guys.
Chris, you want to take one of that?
I would note that generally when the board is looking at new materials, they do some research and see what's out there, see how this compares to whatever other products are out there before you approve. It's just a normal course.
One of the things that I'm hung up on in the letter that you provided was specifically their preference. Like, we don't have jurisdiction over what you decide to paint things, for example, right? And like, specifically, so that the letter that you provided was, would be sufficient when painted. And I feel like I have a hang up on approving a material that as is would not be a suitable replacement.
Well, I think a lot of this is, to Virginia's point, you get these colors that look kind of plastic. This is a PVC product that literally is specially formulated to accept paint and to become basically not discernible from real wood product once it's painted. I have a porch on Grove Street, it's like, it's kind of, it requires a lot of maintenance every couple of years, and go over there, sand it down, repaint it. This is meant to adhere for like 7 to 10 years, and the lifespan of the product before it starts decaying, like real wood, it would last significantly longer time. So I think that's the unique part of this product, is that it can be painted or stained, and it looks the most similar to wood. But, yeah, to your point, though, you can't approve color. You guys have no limits on color at all? No, I want to paint it pink. Yeah,
If
you could.
materials are permanent, like brick or stone,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
because the color is not going to be changed.
Wow, we would never do that.
Paint color, what color you paint your house,
Yeah.
Yeah, but to Jeff's point, like, if you're looking for an approval tonight, I don't know if I can approve this tonight. And so I guess it depends on your timeline, right? Like, if you want us to do some research and potentially consider an alternate material, I think that we need to take some time to pull back on that and review what is available and what substitutes there are.
We're looking at the weather though, and we'd like to break ground before it gets cold.
Which is why I prefaced it that way specifically, yeah.
What's the
I don't want to spend all the, you know how expensive things are right now. I don't want to spend the time and money to install a clock I'm going to have to replace in 10 years, so
What is the wood is what you're talking about, or are you talking about this too?
Deck doesn't, these days, this doesn't last. So it's like you're paying all this labor up front, same installation, but this is going to last 10 times longer. So I'm not asking you to make a decision tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we could.
Can you approve and do your research, and if this is not what you're going to allow, give us the alternative that you
We
were
fall
for.
back on
So we
fresh
can-
treated wood or.
I think it would be better to do a special meeting Monday, a week from now.
Okay.
Is that the
They give you guys
timeline?
enough time, I mean, you got some other stuff happening this week. I don't want to.
Next Monday would not be doable for me at least.
All right, Thursday this week?
Maybe I can poll the board offline to see when's a good date for a special meeting.
Let's
and
just
then
do it
I
right
can let the applicants know.
Well,
I mean, the thing here is, it's a new structure, so we are introducing a new material. We just have to be careful about introducing a new material that then could be used on existing porches,
Understandable.
and making sure that we're approving the right material in an instance like that. So,
And is this going to be used in the garage?
No, just on the front.
no, just the porch, just
Seal the porch.
exposed to the
It's just
weather.
Ceiling
the
and
porch
floor.
because it's in the elements and, yeah.
We could approve the demolition and the garage, no?
That actually would be great, because then the foundation is the real issue with the winter.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be putting the ceiling and the
No,
floorboards
this
down
product is
immediately anyway,
specifically-
right?
Yeah, it's specifically for the
Or
porch.
go out and do a foundation for the porch. I mean, like,
Yeah.
the size of the porch, that they could do that.
No, this
Yeah.
is just for the porch, so, yeah.
I mean, we can approve everything as is except for the ceiling and the soffits, the roof and the soffits on the porch, make those changes and approve all of that and have the pending on the material
Okay.
for the floor and the ceiling.
Can you foresee the build of the porch going up before the 18th of November?
The
The
what?
build of your porch?
No.
That's the next meeting.
The garage would be more the focus to get the foundation in. Yeah, so it would be
Yeah.
Tell me what this product is made of again.
plastic.
I'm looking at,
No,
because Trex,
He's trying to get it approved.
No, I'm kidding.
Trex is a brand name
Yeah,
of
it's,
a composite material
yeah.
that has been approved in the village. So I'm looking
Oh,
to
okay.
see what,
Yeah, what's
Right.
new?
what is different.
Where was Trex
Between this-
approved? Do you recall?
I can't ever recall approving Trex.
Me neither.
Not on
Yeah.
the porch floor.
In fact, we specifically
Not Trex.
corrected the application.
This looks a lot nicer than Trex. Trex
It's-
bends in the sun.
Yeah, this is, and especially formulated for paint adhesion. This is the spec, this is the literature on it?
No.
No, I'm just having a hard time splitting hairs here.
Yeah. As you, this hairs that you're splitting is approving a new material or not approving this because we've approved similar things.
Okay, if we haven't approved Trex, we have approved similar.
So is that what you're hung
My
up on on turning them away? Or are you hung up on approving this?
I just think this is a lengthy discussion for something that's
Yeah.
really a minute chemical difference between the materials.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have a problem with this material.
That's what I'm trying to understand, is if
Yeah.
you're hung up on the material or are you hung up in
Yeah,
what
because if we're
direction?
gonna, like, if we're gonna split hairs, like, people can split hairs, and they could say, this is materially similar to that, so why can't we approve that?
The only reason we would say that is because this is a new build.
Still. I'm thinking of that deck over on, off of Bowden, was it? The one that's like rolling the creek there?
Boughton, we call it.
Bowden.
Shane, please.
It is Shane, the family who it's named for is German.
All right, let's stay on track,
I just wanted to that they presented us
Guys,
similar
we
materials.
gotta stay on
and
track,
we-
it's 45
we
minutes.
still
If you want,
push them towards wood.
if you want, I would prefer to see wood, except I know the issues with wood.
Yeah.
So it's either gonna be, if it's wood, it's pressure treated, it's not.
Are we gonna start accepting PVC fences? Because, wood fences have the same upkeep and maintenance issues.
No, I'm not. Go ahead.
I'm just wondering
If
where
they're
we're
willing,
going.
if they're
We
willing
need
to
to
wait
just
this
discuss for a
time.
couple of days and get back to
Yeah.
you on Wednesday or something, like, approve, but.
I imagine those conversations still have to be public, no?
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna motion for the approval of the demolition of the existing shed.
No, that comes after the
I thought we had to
approval
approve
of
the
this.
demolition.
No,
and
we
then-
Yeah,
approved
yeah,
this
yeah,
first.
Yeah.
So let's make a motion to approve the application with the following modifications. And then we can do the demo. So we'll make the following modifications to the application as presented. We need to change the roof eaves on the garage to match the house roof eaves, as well as the roof eave on the front porch, specifically citing the right side elevation. So that too, well, let's even remove the right side elevation. The roof eave on the porch matches the house.
Eve style.
Correct. Eave style matches the house. The roof material on the porch will be asphalt roof shingles
To match that.
to match the house. And we're not approving at this time the porch ceiling and floor material. We'll leave that as TBD, and if anyone wants to make an addition or change anything I said, please feel free.
Is that in the form of a motion?
Yeah.
That wasn't the form of
Yeah,
the
you
motion.
made a motion. I second that motion.
Member Sarah?
I'm gonna say no because I don't approve the metal roofing.
Member Richards?
Aye.
Member Torres?
Aye.
Member Dubrasky?
Yes.
Chair Olson?
Yes,
Motion passes.
very good. So November 18th, we'll have a much better decision on this. That's the next meeting. That gives you guys enough time. And if it doesn't give you guys enough time, reach out to Alexandria and then she'll quorum the board for a special date that we could meet before then, because that gets close to the holidays. There's a lot going on that time of year, so.
Quick question, when they're doing the foundation for, we've been approved to get the porch, can we pour over foundations for the floor, where the porch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
While
do
it's in the
footers,
garage,
okay.
while
Yes.
it's there.
That'd be great.
With a building permit.
with a building.
Yeah, I think you can do everything but install this on the ceiling and the floors. Everything else is
Yeah,
go.
so we wait
Yeah.
on the material. Okay, thank you.
Is the literature they've provided about this type of material sufficient, or is there more
I
that?
think we'll have to do some searching, you know,
Alexandra,
just
I didn't get any
reviewing.
of that.
Huh?
I didn't get any of that information, the literature.
I didn't either, so I was just gonna,
Yeah,
Do
no,
it and scan it.
yeah, keep
Scan
it.
it.
So-
But I think we'll have to do some more.
I can forward you that information. I scanned it in, so I can just,
yeah,
what I gave you
anything
guys, and I can forward that to you.
please, yeah, anything you hand to the board, if you have it, you will
Absolutely,
send me,
yeah,
and I can.
I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a brand, I mean, is it specific manufacturer and all that?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
and if you can get that PDF, the original PDF, it does have a link straight to the website. And if you are interested in having this person come in and talk to you, she's willing to do that as well.
Okay.
So,
I'd be interested in knowing if National Park Service or SHPO is having any comment on the SHPO's there, State Historic Preservation Office.
What's SHPO, I'm sorry?
State Historic
State
Preservation
Historic
Office.
Preservation, okay.
So it's New York, and then National Park Service,
Okay,
whether they have a position on this material.
I know, so I was trying to get some information. I was like, do you have anything where that was approved in New York? So I think I'll try and continue to get that from them, like what was approved in New York, but.
National Park Service would be even.
Okay. Okay. All right, we'll do, I'll follow up with her on that. Okay.
Thanks for working with it. You guys have done a really good job. I know it's like your third or fourth time here, but you guys have done a really good job, and it's going to look really nice, and
Yeah.
we're working towards it looking really good.
We appreciate the input and feedback.
Oh, you live next to them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
We'll be next year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
All right, if there's anything else I can get for you, I'll.
Yeah, you guys are great communicators, I'm not worried
All
about
right,
it,
great.
so.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move.
Good luck with your groundbreaking.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we'll move to 3 Green Hill Lane for siding in the door. Thanks for your patience. That was a little long, but thank you. You guys want to introduce yourselves and tell us what you're here for?
Sure, I'm Erin.
Tim.
And this is Deb. And we moved into Green Hill Lane first, I believe.
Congrats.
Thank you. So doing a little, work in the yard inside. We just, we sort of bought the house with a vision of what we think it could be. And in saying that, I think new siding is sort of where we'd like to start. Not breaking ground for any additions or anything.
Nothing structurally is changing with the place.
Yeah, so just really looking for a place, kind.
Yeah.
At this point. We've come to find out that there's some leaking going on behind the current siding that's there, so some water damage possibly behind the 8-inch flat. I'm not sure how old that is, but I think quite old. There's some samples of what the material would be. It would be vinyl, if it's in vinyl, it's vinyl.
Yep, which in that makes our job easy. Okay, so this shouldn't be a lot. I'm sure there's going to be some questions, but this shouldn't be like what the previous applicants were doing.
Okay.
So the only question that I had is this, you're going to extend the roof eave down just as stylistically to kind of,
Just trim.
just the trim?
Just the trim.
Okay,
And then I forgot to, there will be a piece of white trim that will go across to differentiate the shingle from the.
like this one?
Yeah,
Across
so,
this
yeah,
one?
so exactly.
All the
So
way
where that
across,
is,
yeah.
it would just be a piece of trim to meet.
Yeah, so you have this extending down. and
Exactly,
this
sorry, and I
across.
forgot
Yeah.
to include
Yeah.
that piece of trim there, but just sort of to.
So the addition is a little, it lacks symmetry, and it's a little bit strange as it is today, but we'd
Yeah.
like to return the original.
And then this D4, is it the same as the bottom?
Yes, so there will be the shingle,
Yeah, no, there's just
Yes.
addition area right here.
that would be the D4.
That's this, and this down here is the same.
Correct.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can you? Okay, I just, you were holding it to,
Yeah.
so they can see.
And the dormers will have the shake shingles also, which should be.
Yeah, that's.
They have the shape.
Oh, here on the
shape.
dormer
Okay.
sides?
Yes.
Those will be
And
shingles?
the front,
Okay.
yeah,
Are those wood?
with their vinyl.
Vinyl.
So is that acceptable, even though the material is staying the same, but the style is changing? I can't think of an application where we've done something like that.
Well, it's a design change, I don't think,
It's a design change.
it's a design change that you would take into consideration.
Yeah.
So
So instead of the vinyl board and batten, you're doing a vinyl shake.
Yeah.
Right, so that's where you would look at it, is if you wanted to make a decision on that.
Right.
And lap siding there.
That will be the same as the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
And it will all be uniform in terms of color, it's
Yes.
not two-tone, same color.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, so right now you have white on top
Yeah,
and
and
cream
yeah,
below,
so
yeah.
the
This
other
would
would
be
be
more.
white and just one.
Oh, okay, yeah, in the drawing, you've got a different colors, but you're saying it would be all one color?
Yeah, yeah, so I don't know, yeah, it's this material. And that, just a flint
Okay.
gray.
Okay, I see.
That's the D4.
Yes.
Do you have the shake cedar
No,
material?
no, it's the same exact
The
material,
vinyl, yeah.
just
This
the,
is just in
yeah, he
shingles.
put it, I don't think.
Maybe is
Yes,
there a
that's the-
picture
Sorry.
of what, is there a picture in there of what the shake looks
I
like?
think, is that the shape?
You know, no, this is that's the lap
Okay.
too, but it's not that color, but.
Yeah.
No, you know what,
Oh,
we
wow,
asked
that's
for
nice.
a sample when he wasn't, the contractor wasn't.
So this is the shake here.
So so
This
it's
must-
just a uniform.
Okay.
I don't see that. Chris, you want
Does
to
the
take a look at that?
shape portion have a texture on it? I haven't,
Yeah, I
You're
think
done,
it's
they'll
very
figure it out.
similar
Yeah, we'll
to
pass
the, sorry.
well, my point is
Yeah.
that for the clapboard style, it should be smooth. The only time you see a texture on wood, even if it's painted, is if the wood is tremendously weathered,
Okay,
so that
yeah, I'd have to,
But maybe that's.
regular painted wood, regular wood painted is smooth, not textured.
yeah.
The only, Virginia, I understand, just can I interrupt for 1 second on that? The vinyl that you currently have on your house, is it smooth or textured?
Textured.
So in the pictures, I noticed that the vinyl that's on there is textured, to have what that is, so.
Yeah.
How should we proceed with that?
It is in
It's
kind.
an in-kind
It's
replacement.
in time.
Pardon
It's in
me,
kind.
what did you say, Jeff?
I think it's an in-kind replacement if that had, I mean, I understand the concept, and I.
Yeah, and so do I understand the concept
We
too.
also don't know when the vinyl siding that's on there was installed, and my guess is that it was installed before the village had a position about vinyl siding
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah,
But
that's gonna be,
This is not, they just replaced the bottom. They could do that.
yeah, they wouldn't need to come here.
They don't need an approval to do that. It's the same stuff.
Yeah, so,
Does that mean that we shouldn't try to,
No, because they're trying to do
Correct.
something different
No,
above.
you can't. I mean, it doesn't mean we shouldn't try, but you can't,
Yeah.
right? Unless they want to, unless the applicant wants to correct it. The applicant doesn't have to correct it. In fact, they don't need to be here for a C of A for that portion.
for that portion.
Sorry, so for
So it's
the,
just the
So,
shape.
but however, if you want to listen to the board's position on why that would be, why the replacement material would be inappropriate, and it doesn't look like wood, that's why. It looks,
So basically, what we're
but the board
saying,
in Batten doesn't look like wood
Yeah.
at the moment.
it's flat?
is it metal? It looks like it's.
It might be
It looks like it's
metal.
rusted.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
metal.
very rusted
Yeah.
and moldy and.
well, no,
No, let's go down to the bottom.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about the bottom half of the house. So what you guys have now is textured vinyl.
Yes,
What Virginia was saying is that the board and the village prefers, if you're going to replace vinyl with vinyl, that the vinyl is actually flat. We don't like faux texture, okay?
Do they sell items?
Yeah,
We
they do.
had,
So,
we do.
so that's the position of the board, that we would prefer it to be smooth. You guys have a unique situation that your house has vinyl with a texture
We
on
just
it.
assumed all vinyl was textured.
Yeah.
We've seen
No.
tons of samples and not one has been flat.
Really?
Yeah, not one, like we looked at mastic and this Plygem and, I can't even think of the other names, but they are all textured.
Doesn't matter, if you want a texture, you can have a texture, because it already is.
Yeah.
But what?
So we can tell you that it's our position to be this way, but you could just say we don't care, because that's the way it already is.
But, oh no, and I just didn't even know
Yeah.
that it came flat. But
A consideration is that that texture
okay.
holds dirt.
Oh,
Yeah. It does.
It's a practical consideration
okay.
for using texture.
So
Okay.
the board could approve both
Okay.
the current and the non-textured, and if you went out and looked at it and decide, yeah, it does look more like wood and or, we don't want dirt in those cracks,
Right.
then you could put the smooth up,
Right.
the board.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even, I mean, I like the idea of it looking more traditional, like wood, but I
Yeah.
don't think we've
I mean, you would
seen that
sand
as,
the wood and you paint it in.
Yeah.
really, as an option, so.
I don't know if that does to your price or anything, but
I couldn't imagine the price
it
is
doesn't seem like
markedly
it would
different.
change it much.
We saw a piece of, is it fiber cement?
Yes.
That's the only flat one. I saw, so that's why we were like, oh, we don't
They
want.
definitely make it, and it's,
They do.
you know, it might be cheaper actually, because they don't have to stamp it. They don't have to, you know, put that
Okay.
thick wood grain on it or whatever. So
Okay.
you should, I mean, just ask the same company, they might have.
Sure.
They just.
Consumers have been taught that it should be all gnarly looking.
Right.
Manufacturers have convinced consumers that's how it should look.
Okay,
But that's not actually what real painted wood looks like,
right,
unless it's distressed.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the bottom part is basically, you know, you can do what you want with that. You can have it textured or not textured. What about the top part? That's a change from what the as is, right?
Do we know what the original, like, we haven't pulled off any side, so in our neighborhood, there's tons of shingles. Like, it's old textured shingles on all of the houses. So I mean, if that's what's behind it, I guess, my question is, what's the difference if the shaped shingles are textured? If it's just kind of regressing back to the original.
You'll see what's behind there when you
Yeah.
take off what's there now.
It's fine. You know there's some water there.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It might be
a great
cedar.
question.
It
Yeah,
might be cedar if you look at that. Have you seen this image?
49 to 75, like, when did that happen?
Yeah, it might be cedar behind there.
Yeah,
Oh, but not at the top,
well,
because that's vinyl still.
That
Yeah,
looks to me like it's still that board and
and
batten
they never replaced that,
vertical.
they just replaced the bottom.
It had to be in 61 when they did the addition.
Yeah.
Is that when the addition was done? Oh, okay.
So these papers are on the website. You can go to the Village of Pittsburgh, you can go to, oh man, is it historic preservation? And then you can go street by street, house by house, and every house has these, what we call blue papers. And
Oh,
you
They
can
have
go
like a
get a
history
whole
of the
read up of
house.
it.
So now my house is 30 years older than we thought when I saw it.
Here you go, this. Yep.
no, so this was originally shingles on the bottom and board and batten on the top. So that appearance, board and batten is the part that covers the
That's not the
joint between the two boards.
Yeah.
It was originally board and batten.
well, and I mean, ultimately, like, this shingle's the best, and we just can't afford to do it on the whole house. Like, we think it almost would look more authentic, you know, with the shingles, and that's sort of why we were thinking that direction.
Right.
I feel like board and batten is very, I know it's still very modern, which we don't
Well, the original siding is also like 10 or 11
Yeah, it's thick.
inch
Yeah.
tall. So already there's a,
Well, do we know this is the original siding? This is 1975. This is probably not the original. The house wasn't built in 75.
1950s.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying, is probably the siding they put on in 61 when they did the addition.
yeah. So I don't know what it
well,
was like originally.
this photograph is not
It's 75.
49, it's from 75, and that's only 25 years. It would be unusual.
They did an addition in 61.
See, it's probably, you're right, that's probably when it went on. Although, again, when they take it off, you'll find all about it.
Yeah.
One thing that we'll point out is the reveal of the vinyl clapboard is make sure that that matches the existing. In the 3D CAD, it looks like the exposed clapboard is less of a measurement than it is on the house existing, just by counting the number of clapboards going up against the door.
You're talking about the thickness?
Yeah.
of each-
Yeah, well, because right now it's 8 inch.
Yeah, so what are you guys gonna have now? What are you guys proposing?
Isn't D4?
Oh, it is. We don't do vinyl siding, so I'm not.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah,
So the reveal will be 4 inches?
yeah.
That, in my opinion, that makes it not a replacement in kind.
Yeah, same. That's,
I don't
and I
think
noticed it
they
when we
made
looked at it.
when the contract came, he's like, no, I 18 mentioned it. Right, he's like, this is old. But, and we had 3 contractors come out, so he, last one wasn't the first.
What material did we see in the last year and a half? We had a big reveal, do you remember? I mean,
Like hardy board?
might have been Hardy Board.
I mean, if you look at our neighbors, they all have vinyl 4-inch siding.
Yeah.
Like all the houses
Yes,
they're not pretty.
I served on this board previously, probably 35 years ago, and there were lengthy discussions about how so much vinyl siding got on so many buildings
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
village.
we just can't afford cedar siding.
No, I'm not saying you should.
No, but I'm saying, like, ultimately, that would be exactly what we want to do, but if it's on grants.
Okay, so how about the door? You guys are just gonna replace that? That's also a fiberglass door, fiberglass.
We're looking for like a wood frame in fiberglass, just to.
Solid, no window?
Oh, like
This one here.
rectangular.
Oh, yeah, okay, right. Okay.
There will or will not be glass in the front door.
Yeah,
There will be a glass window.
there's a picture of it.
No, okay, I'm seeing
The one that
the one that's
looks-
starred, it's showing the integrated dental shelf integrated into glass frame.
Oh, and there shouldn't be a dental shelf.
no show.
No shelf.
It's hardly looks like the same house.
It's this page here. I don't think it has a shelf.
It just says option.
Yeah.
They didn't get like the whole manufacturers, like 30 pages, so if there is something specific, that's probably have to show them,
We
yeah.
even asked, they're like, we have never.
Yeah.
Any questions on the door?
Do we still talk through the shape stuff?
If you have questions, let's talk about it.
So
It's an improvement. The board and batten's rusting, it doesn't look very sightly, and this is an improvement on the overall property.
I don't have an issue with it.
Matches the rest of the material if they're replacing in plastic, which.
Vinyl.
I know.
We're letting her over here.
It's not our preference. I'm not quite sure what other direction to go.
Are you doing the trim in the, like a contrasting white or something?
Just white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the gray for the.
And is the existing trim wood, is that going to be wood, or is that
There's no wood,
vinyl? It's also vinyl?
it's all aluminum.
Aluminum.
So we were looking to do PVC around the garage, just white,
Yeah,
to match all the other trim, but you have 3 children
yeah.
in hockey bags, and so our contractor said, it might be ideal to do the PVC, it's a little more sturdy.
The aluminum is
but-
dented,
Yeah.
as it is now, from sure.
It's
Prior, cars, kids, and all of that, it doesn't wear well.
the paintable PVC, though,
Yeah,
not shiny stuff.
no, I'm not gonna be repair it, because we want to blend
Yeah.
with like the rest of the trim.
All righty.
I can swallow
Yeah.
Yeah, my only question is if the vinyl thickness isn't available, then that's just a material issue, and I won't get hung up on that. That was my only,
If you can make it bigger than 4 inches.
Reveal,
the reveal.
I don't know if it exists or doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's, the whole appearance of the house is altered significantly from the original
Yeah.
already. So,
Yeah. Well, I make a motion that we just approve the application as is.
I'm sorry.
I recommend that you see or ask your contractor
Sure.
if they can do a wider than
Okay.
4-inch thing, because I think that would look better.
Okay, sure.
it. Same with the smooth versus
And same with
Yeah.
smooth versus.
That's what they're-
open.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll second that motion.
And I'd go further and say, if you do find it wider
Yeah.
or smooth,
Yeah.
that we approve that now too, so you don't have to come back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Take it, yeah.
Okay.
Further that, my motion there.
I like it both ways.
Yeah.
And I'll second that.
Thank you. Member Dubrowski,
Yes.
Member Torres,
Yes.
Member Richards, Member Sarah,
yes.
Chair Olson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Just so I'm clear. Hypothetically, if there is no wider lap siding, and we could still move forward.
Yeah, it's approved as is.
As is, okay.
Plus, it's also approved flatter and wider.
Okay.
So you don't have to come back if you do find it and decide to do that.
Okay, but thank you for the.
Suggestions.
Fun on hiding flat.
You'll get a certificate of appropriateness with all these details mailed, and then you can mark it to date your permit.
Okay.
For the work.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck in the project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Good luck.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
No, keep it.
Mine?
Yeah,
Okay.
keep it.
Thank you.
All right, so then we have 56 Heatherhurst Drive. Are they in line?
No, I contacted them, and they said there will not be any representative for their application, and that's it.
That's our neighborhood too.
Yes, it is.
We could stand on their behalf. No, I'm just kidding. Thank
Take
you.
another hour out of this.
So they want us to try to, it's June.
We can't make them,
No, we can't.
make anything without them, either online or in person.
Oh, really?
They said we are permitted to decide without it.
I didn't ask that, they didn't,
There were questions about the material and the style.
Isn't this a
Were there
different,
not?
I think it's
Yeah.
a different application.
Wait, what are you talking about,
this is
Virginia?
for.
This fence looks like the one that was presented to us the other day. It's a different application.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have questions on that too.
100 questions.
I wouldn't approve this without anybody being
No.
here.
This isn't the same application?
No.
Fence in the same photograph with wood.
Oh, As what we did last
Last
meeting?
meeting.
Oh, no, it's a totally different
Yeah,
house.
I had the same thought.
That house
I
was
had
on
to look it
Rand.
up.
Oh, yes,
That
and
house was
here's
on Rand.
58 grand.
Oh,
Yeah.
Iron
Did
Post
we,
or
were we
whatever.
supposed to have 58 grand tonight, or?
No,
No?
No,
This must be left over in my
maybe in
notebook
your
from last
binder.
time.
58 grand, the husband won.
Well, I don't know. He just like, he just threw his hand up.
He
like,
goes, told you,
whatever.
honey. He goes, told you, honey.
I put 58 grand in your.
So we don't have to, I don't know if I'm the only one who has it. If I am, it's because I,
Yeah, Virginia, there wasn't, that was just left over.
I just,
All right, so let's
regardless
move,
of they're here, I probably would.
we'll table that to next meeting, and then let's go.
And we need to get a hold of them, tell them we have questions, we need to speak.
I
Yeah.
can give them a
this
call
is part of
tomorrow.
their
Great.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to meeting minutes. We have, I believe, two minutes for approval. And we'll start with the August 19th regular meeting minutes.
August 19th?
We have 4 people present on this board right now that were there. Myself, Virginia, Carolina, and Christopher.
I've reviewed them and have no comments.
Yep,
As have I.
I'm fine.
Yep. Motion to accept the meeting notes.
I'll second. Oh,
Go ahead.
Okay, member Sarah. And then member Richards, you can just abstain. Member Dubrasky,
Yes.
member Torres,
yes.
member Richards,
Abstain.
member Sarah,
Yes.
Chair Olson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, then we have Monday, September 16th, 2024. 4 board members were present: Daniel, Virginia, Christopher, and Benjamin.
I say the guy I'm shown so far is really good work.
I haven't driven past.
Like, yeah, that's good.
Good. And I don't have any questions either.
I have no comments about it.
Motion to accept the September 16th meeting notes.
I'll second that.
Member Sarah,
Yes.
member Richards,
Aye.
member Torres,
Abstain.
member Dubrasky,
Yes.
Chair Olson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay. Next, we have the Preservation Board 2025 meeting dates. Alexandria and myself, every month, go through and double check that we have full attendance. We really need to work on our board's attendance, not only for ourselves in the village, but mostly for the people coming to the board, the applicants, so that they have a fair use of their time. This board has a, I don't know what you want to call it, maybe the right word is preconceived notion about it towards some of the applicants. So what we can do to right that ship is to have perfect attendance, to have 5 people voting on an open discussion. When we have 3 people and have to explain to them that they can come back again next time, that is inappropriate use of their time as well as our time for the people who are here. So let's just make note of this. If one of these dates don't work for you, then we can move it now. We're not voting on these minutes, or we're not voting on these meeting dates, but it is just imperative that to be on this board, we make every effort to make these dates, and that if we can't, we help Alexandria find a substitute as well. And we have 7 people appointed by the mayor, so it should be an easy, always to get 4 or 5 people here at all times. So that's my only comment on that. We have that, it's in the meeting minutes. And then the last point of conversation is Mondays, is it sexual abuse training? Is that the title?
New York State sexual harassment.
Sexual
training.
harassment training.
Yeah, it is a requirement for anyone who's affiliated with the village, including appointed and elected board members. If you have one with your employer, a certificate, the clerk does say that she can accept that. You can email it to me. It's New York State sexual harassment training.
Right. What is
And
the
it's
date?
Monday,
It's Monday.
October 28th.
Yeah, that's I think I emailed it maybe.
It is in our email.
So if you can't make it Monday, it's free, 1 hour in the morning, but
Is it
Only an
Zoom or
hour?
in
The
person?
videos.
it's in person.
Because we work for a
I
corporation.
moved here, And I think I'm still waiting on approval from the trainers, if we can stream it, because I do have a couple of board members that ask the same. If you're present, Zoom, whatever, we just need to make sure that it's okay with them to Zoom it.
Okay, so keep an eye out on your emails in the coming,
I'm not getting village emails,
I
because
know.
I can no longer access.
I sent it to your Gmail too. I CC'd your Gmail.
I don't remember seeing it. When did you send this?
Probably like 2 weeks ago, but I will get, it's here, 10:30 to 11:30. If you can't be in person, I'll send you a Zoom link. If you have one from your employer, email me the certificate.
Like a screenshot or like, is there
A
like?
screenshot, even because sometimes when you take the test, they'll email you the certificate, and I've had some, like, 2 board members forward me that email. It just needs to be within this calendar year, 2020.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I mean, I just did it like 2 weeks ago.
okay. And then, so we all have that.
Yes.
10:30 to 11:30.
Monday, October 28th.
Yes.
Okay, and then the final point comment is this PVC floor porch ceiling, just do some homework. Call Jeff, call the mayor, call anybody else, call the SHPO department. Just do your homework on this, because when they come back, if we can't just kind of stumble through it again and say, oh, shoot, we forgot to get to it over the last month. So this is just something
And
that,
be thinking about what the replacement material is going to be if that is not acceptable.
You know, so I got
yeah, this will be important because it'll set a precedent moving forward. But what we have to say here on this one is that it is a new addition or new feature, a new porch. It's not replacing in kind, so keep that in mind.
No, it's okay. All you have to do is put it on the
No.
calendar.
So in preservation, we're going to have to figure out
Monday the 28th at 10:30.
what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, what other materials can we use that will be acceptable?
Yeah,
And specifically around like what.
but it's a dangerous approval.
What?
Specifically around
Set a
what
precedent.
cases.
But, so it's just good to do some homework, we'll review it together, and then we'll be good for next November's meeting.
2025?
2024, brother.
You said next, I think it's been.
No, next November, no, next meeting, in November's meeting.
November 8th, 18 is the next one, right?
Yeah.
November 18th.
Yeah, if you have any issues with the dates on the calendar, you can text me or send me an email, and I will put out a new draft, but.
Gosh, I have
All right, any questions?
I will just,
December 16th, 2025.
if there are actually plenty of others to come, if someone can sub for me next meeting, November, because I'm having my other hip replaced only 6 days before that.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
So I told
Good luck.
Alex,
Yeah, good
Wow,
luck.
good luck, yeah.
So that's good, Alex,
I
we'll
love
work on
my
that.
first new one.
Oh, really?
Can't wait for the second new one.
I'll sub for you, but then somebody's got to sub for me. so-
Yeah.
Yes, you got it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna be
verify the number of
If
subs
there's,
available, but
if you
Yeah.
can't get a sub,
I
I will
understand.
come, because given the last one,
Well, you can video,
I could walk
if we have,
around.
Yeah, this
forum here.
does approve remote attendance, yes.
If I'm not here, there are going to be dogs barking and, you know, creating distractions for everybody.
motion to close the meeting.
Second.
Member Dubrasky?
Yes.
Member Torres? Wait,
Can't get the card out of
I don't know
the
how to say your name. Member Richards?
Yes.
Member Cheryl?
Yes.
Chair Olson?
Yes,
Motion carried.
Oh,
Thank you.
figured out her order.
No, she changes
Thanks, Alex.
it.